Hello, let's look at the world of antonyms, words with opposite meanings, and the study of these opposites known as antonymy. We often think of antonyms as simple pairs like hot and cold, but the reality is more nuanced. In fact, there are several types of antonymy, and each behaves a little differently. First, there are gradable antonyms. These are opposites that exist on a scale or a spectrum. So take hot and cold. Between them you might have warm or cool or even lukewarm. You can be not cold, but that doesn't mean you're hot. You might just be somewhere in the middle. So the same goes for words like short and tall, young and old, or happy and sad. There's room between the extremes, which makes them gradable. Second, we have complementary antonyms. These are binary opposites. If one is true, the other cannot be. So think about dead and alive. There's no middle ground. If you're not dead, you're alive. If the light is not on, it's off. These are sometimes called mutually exclusive or ungraded antonyms because they're all or nothing. And third are converse antonyms. These pairs are relational. They imply each other. So for example, buy and sell. You can't sell something unless someone is buying. Parent and child. Employer and employee. You can't have one without the other. There's also a directional subset of converse antonyms like left, right, up, down, give, receive. These relationships are dependent on perspective or direction. Now, let's look at morphological antonymy. Some opposites are formed using prefixes or suffixes like happy, unhappy, appear, disappear, do, undo, useful, useless. These are derivational antonyms where prefixes like un, dis, in, or suffixes like less are added to create the opposite. But English isn't always consistent, and some words have negative forms like hopeless, while others don't. Friendless is fine, but friendful isn't a word. Another key concept is markedness. In many antonym pairs, one word is neutral or expected. It's the unmarked form, and the other is marked. We usually say, how old is the dog, not how young is the dog, even if it's a puppy. So old is the default reference point, and this applies to nouns too. So for example, lion is unmarked. Lioness is marked for gender. Now, here's something surprising. Antonyms don't always collocate in the same ways. So for instance, we say big mistake, big brother, big picture, but rarely small mistake, small brother, small picture. We hear tall buildings, wide variety, tall trees, but never short buildings, narrow variety, or short trees, or at least very rarely. Even though these are grammatical, they're just not natural combinations. Antonyms don't always share collocational behavior. Finally, let's talk about incompatibility. Some words aren't direct opposites, but they can't logically coexist. You can't describe something as a colorful monochrome picture. The two ideas cancel each other out. Or say, that's a tulip and a daffodil, when referring to one flower. They belong to the same semantic category, like days of the week, types of fruit, or colors, and only one can apply at a time. These are called taxonomic sisters. They're part of the same group, but they exclude each other, and they're incompatible but not strictly antonyms. To sum up, antonymy is much more than just opposites. It includes gradable antonyms on a scale, Complementary antonyms, either or. Converse antonyms, relational pairs. Morphological antonyms, so formed by prefixes and suffixes. Markedness, one term is default, the other isn't. Collocation patterns, not always symmetrical, they're not always symmetrical. And incompatibility, not antonyms as such, but mutually exclusive. Understanding these types makes your grasp of vocabulary sharper and your teaching more precise. Thank you.